Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters.
Ladies and gentlemen, Foo Fighters. Hello and welcome to your weekly dose of mayhem, the only show where we extended the table.
Incredible.
Oh, Nate is getting squished into the side of the screen because for whatever reason it's a fisheye lens, kind of, and Austin isn't.
Now between two
Nice.
Naco builders, Swiss slides.
For those who don't know who they are, that's Nate, I'm Nate, that's Hamid, that's Austin.
Yep.
Yeah, if you didn't know, my name's down there.
Yeah, they're both Nates, so
Yeah.
everything still makes sense, and he's Hamid.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They are the white team captains. Hamid and I aren't the green team captains, but they're the white team captains, and they had no class this block, so here they are.
Yay.
Just continuing the tradition of, I mean, I guess last week we also just randomly invited two people onto the podcast because they had no class.
You want to move the mic closer? Michael?
Michael, are you in there? Oh, yeah.
Still doing good? All right.
We have a script and we are still going off of it.
Incredible.
Is
So you should probably start with the script.
Yeah, let's go ahead and start. We did a live stream, what was it, last weekend?
Yeah.
Last weekend, it feels like forever ago. Actually, two streams, one on Saturday, one on Sunday. And we did Robot in 12 hours, except the last 12 hours.
Last 12 hours.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you...
I'm just kind of getting into it.
Getting
man.
into the groove?
Getting into the groove of the show.
So do you want to talk about Build Weekend?
Yeah, okay. So for the more astute of you, I have noticed this little machine I've got here. This didn't exist last week. Last Friday, this was just an idea on my brain. In my brain. It
was right here. It was right here.
And then Nate
right
say
there.
with this machine too, right?
That machine was slightly more existent.
No, this wasn't in your brain. It was in.
Yeah,
it was in the
my
other Nate's
brain.
brain.
It was in the other
Nate's
Nate's
brain.
brain.
It was in
They were
Nate's
both
brain.
on some.
No, both robots were in Nate's brain.
Yeah, the Nate Collective.
Yeah.
They were both on. Both robots were on a server somewhere, wherever Onshape keeps their server.
Probably Chicago, Illinois.
Is that where they're from?
I don't know.
Or Chicago.
It's just central
There's a lot
US.
of data centers in Chicago. I don't know.
Someone's from Chicago. Can we get that? Can we get that?
Some data center specialist from Chicago is on shape there.
Any Chicagoans? It's Chicagoans. Chicago is.
Anyone who works at AWS.
In the
Someone
chat.
from Chicago.
All right.
I love Chicago. Anyway. Yeah. So over the course of 12-ish hours, we got this little robot Didu here, and they got that other robot Didu here. And I'm gonna talk about this one, and then they're gonna talk about that one, and then we're gonna talk about something else.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm delusional. I'm tired. So let's go. Also, if you would like me and also someone else who isn't me talk about this robot later today, it might already be up. I don't know. I haven't checked. Second FTC OA show is going up.
It should be
first
up
updates
around
now.
between 4:30 and 5.
Yeah.
I was-
Afternoon.
I was told it's going out soon.
Earlier for Fun Robotics Network members. Press the join button.
So,
Do they have a?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
they
I
do
didn't
a free
know.
advertisement, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you are welcome, Mr. Olds. So yeah, let's talk about this robot. I'm just gonna go through it in the same order that we went through it on the show. First and foremost, the first thing we got here, the most important thing on any robot, is the drivetrain, and we have picked a Kiwi drivetrain.
Yet again.
We picked it yet again because we have picked it in the past. We traditionally are very good at building them. I think it is a good balance of kind of speed, maneuverability, and control. I think it's, out of all the FTC standard drivetrains, this is the best balance of the three. It also, you never have to worry about none of your wheels not touching the ground, because 3 points define the plane, so all 3 wheels will always be on the ground, unless you're tipping over it, which happens.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
Not exclusively the Kiwis, but
Yeah. Hey, Harmon, I have a great idea for the shoes I first bought. Large rotary arm.
No.
I've got a story about a large rotary arm tipping over. We'll get into Ruckus later. No show last week because we weren't at school, by the way. So yeah, we picked a Kiwi drivetrain. We've got this bottom plate here where we're holding battery and octoquad. We put the battery low on the robot to get the CG lower. We also put it in the front of the robot to get the CG forward. And the CG is in the center of the robot, which is really rare for us. It's not
And you
as
actually
low.
don't
It's
want
not
that to
particularly
see
low. It's not particularly low yet, but we will get it. We can get it low with some 100-gram slugs or so. I'm missing something. Can someone go get the intake?
You can go get the intake.
Okay.
Welcome to the Electric Mayhem podcast, where we're 90% prepared.
Yeah.
Oh, I should go grab our
This is a good
too.
intake.
Yeah.
This is a good intake.
I'll grab our intake.
You guys want to see this? Here, I'm gonna go up to the thing.
Yeah.
This is the intake that I'm gonna.
Yeah. Just hold the mic, bro.
I can't. Shut it. This is the intake that we have spent so much time catting, and this is its final-ish design. I mean, it will probably change more as the season goes on, but this is probably what we'll use at Penfield. It's on a 250mm Swift slide, which is mounted using these poly cup plates to get it at a nice 13-degree angle in the robot. The intake, we've gone back to two counter-rotating compliant wheels on the side instead of the over-the-top. I'm not sure we've talked about that, but that's because the over-the-top wheel was pushing it too far into the mat, and not the friction wasn't enough to get it in. More details on the build thread on Chief Delphi or FTCOA.com. Go check it out.
FTCOA.com is just the wrong.
Okay. FTCOpenalliance.com.
.org, bro. Oh my.
We've also got the intake. Oh, look, there it is. We've also got the intake on these little wrist system here. It sits on. These are two Go Builder direct servo gears, which are great. We've never used them before, but they are exceedingly convenient for getting gears on servos. And then that's another Go Builder gear right there that interfaces with them to do the intake pivot, like so. And that whole system sits on a slide to get into the submersible zone. And we've done some tests with it, and we think it intakes pretty well.
All right, thank you, Nate.
Yep.
This
Now-
sits. I'm not done.
Oh, for real.
This sits right here on the robot. When I can get it in. It's not attached yet, but that sits right there on the robot. And then this little doohickey, which is the carriage, this goes in the basket, but also works through a pass-through, sits there. And then you intake a block from the pit. It goes into the carriage. If you're scoring in the basket, the carriage rides up on the slides to go score in the basket. Or it shoots the block all the way out the back of the robot to go to the human player for turning into a specimen. And then we've talked about this extensively. Check out the web thread or the FTCOA shows. This is Oscar's grabber hand. This picks up the specimen off the water, goes score in the chamber. We've gone through a lot of iterations. We were originally using TPU claws, then silicone molded claws, which we made ourselves, and now we're at PLA claws, which is working great. And it's really in there, and it's scoring and intaking splendidly. And this whole system sits on two 350mm slides, which we also use for climbing. In the climb, we had a whole system with like spring hooks to hold us up and stuff. That's all getting changed. We're gonna do. We haven't worked out all the details yet, but we're gonna use a driven hook to get onto the first bar that kind of angles us upwards so that these can extend and get to the top bar. More details on that as they arrive. Probably check out the build thread this weekend after that gets designed. And currently, that is where this Green Team robot is at. This is the most robot we ever had at this point in the season, and we're very happy about it. That concludes the Nate Yap sesh.
Now, thank you, Nate. On to Nate's Yap sesh.
The other
Let's just switch robots.
Austin, do you want to talk about the drivetrain, and then you can talk about the thing that you have on your side, so that we don't have to swap anything over the table awkwardly?
Yeah. So, I'll start with the drivetrain down here. As Nate said, it's a very essential part to the robot. We also went with the Kiwi, but unlike the Green Team, we went with the circular Kiwi. Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yep.
And
It's not a squircle.
So
It's not even ours isn't a squircle anymore. It's just a square.
we went with the circular Kiwi design. And one thing that's really new about our Kiwi design this year is that it's really close to the ground so that we can maximize our center of gravity.
Center of gravity, as well as keeping the new odometry sensor.
Yeah, the new laser odometry
That
sensor
is
is close to the
basically
ground
at
as well.
the perfect height, so that it can be it can work well.
All right, sounds good. Do you want to talk about your slides?
I think we'll leave that over to Nate because he's been working.
No, go build slides.
Yeah.
Oh, the Go Builder slides. They're also mounted to the bottom of our cookie, and what they're gonna do is there's gonna be where's Josh's basket? Dang it.
Okay. Slight technical difficulties.
We're prepared here.
Yeah. Okay, I'll just move on to my stuff. Okay. Oh.
No, he's got it.
Oh,
He's
no,
got. Don't
never
worry.
mind.
Oh, this is my favorite part of the robot. I think this thing is so
So we
good.
have a passive dumper slide.
I'm gonna be the basket.
All right, so Nate's our basket right here, and we have achieved a sample. It goes inside the bucket. Super simple push mechanism. Here, do you want to do it in front of the camera?
Yeah.
So-
I guess I'll be the narrator. Nate's acting as the bucket here. Sample goes in, boom, into the bucket.
Yeah, so basically the design of this, it was originally going to be a 5mm hex shaft. However, there was way too much friction, so we decided to do a threaded rod that goes all the way through.
Is that gonna be springed down to get the?
We're gonna use some surgical.
Yeah, so
we're gonna get the thing
yeah.
back down.
Yeah,
Cool,
surgical
awesome.
tubing to bring us through.
Yeah.
And so what it's gonna do is it's gonna sit in between these two things like this. No, like this.
Yep.
And then
It's gonna ride up with the slides.
Is that right with it? And then
with
it'll
the
just
slides.
back into it, back into the basket, and then bada bing, bada boom, we score.
All right.
Yeah.
Nate, your thing.
My thing. Similar to Green Team, we also have Go Builder, not Go Builder, not Go Builder, Swift slides.
You should have pointed that like straight to the camera. Wait. That looks funny.
That's
Yeah,
good.
so
That's a good one.
these are angled not at 13 degrees, you guessed it, at 16.4 degrees. Yeah.
Right, because I had that number in mind.
Yeah, exactly. We all think it's 16.4.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Of course.
but that was used using Desmos's geometry calculator, surprisingly enough. And yeah, calculators were done with that. So the way this is going to be, I want to take a minute to unplug this from Server Programmer. What this does, we were inspired from two teams actually. One team whose name I'm forgetting, but our main scoring mechanism is from them. And then this general intake idea was from one of the Go Builder Robot in 3 Days teams. So if we test this,
Do you want to put that up to the camera and Austin
Yeah.
can talk for
Yeah.
you?
I will be the floor.
I designed a pretty big portion of that. So
Austin, I designed both these.
so what it's gonna do right now is it's the hand is moving towards the sample, and what it does is those Go Builder boot wheels are gonna just intake the sample.
It's not perfect, but as of now it works.
Yeah.
It's working pretty good as well.
And what's like the angle range on that?
This is a continuous.
Well, no, but what's the range of angles that it can intake?
All in.
So it can intake vertically as well. It's not perfect, but
Straight on.
it works.
Oh, okay. No, I thought
No,
you
that
did
works, that
Yeah,
works.
Yeah.
That
True,
works.
True.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah, but one thing that we have say if it's like this, it just won't hit.
Yeah.
You are. Yeah. Yeah.
So you just need to be able to strafe the robot over to pick it up like that.
Or what we were thinking is that we could reprint this once more and add a chamfer right here.
Yeah, that would also probably help.
Yes, it can be more easily factored in.
It's a very nice intake.
Thank you,
Very,
Nate.
FTC intake right there.
Yeah.
Anything else about you, Alec, you want to talk about?
Our drivetrain is all wired up, and last night with some work from the brand new programmers and James, we were able to get this thing driving.
Yeah.
So.
And
very
once
good.
more. Slides.
James, if you could describe the progress for white team programming in one noise, what would it be? Yeah, get over here.
Yeah, get over here.
In a single noise.
One noise.
Yeah.
I need both the mics. Ah.
I see.
You know what? From spending my time up there, I would agree with that noise.
Yeah, no.
That perfectly encapsulates the teaching.
I mean, it's the of accomplishment, the of why would you declare the color sensor 3 times?
That
Thank
James
you,
just
James.
said it's the art of accomplishment
Also,
and the art of why would you declare the color sensor 3 times.
Thank you, James.
Thank you,
What
James.
did Avi name the Hobo map?
Now I know my ABC's hardware map.
Why?
Avi's a bit silly.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Now you know my ABCs.
Speaking of that, did you know that sillyguy.com got bought by someone?
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
Bought sillyguy.com.
I don't know. It was on auction 7 hours ago for like $1,000. Someone bought it.
Josh probably bought it.
All right, let's go to our next bullet point here.
Okay, awesome. Go on, go.
No,
No,
You guys can
I'll
say.
stay.
Oh, yeah, fair.
You guys were at Ruckus, right?
Well, he was.
I
yeah,
was,
Ruckus.
Yeah. Ruckus.
Ruckus.
We
Ruckus.
went. We went.
We went.
Yeah.
We came. We saw.
And we cooked.
We cooked.
Yeah.
We did cook.
Yeah, we cooked.
What, huh?
How did the teams do, Nate?
So we took 2 of us to Ruckus. We took 4930s New Zealand in 9990s Boomerang, which was our off-season demo teams.
The Rang.
The Rang.
The
as,
Rang.
The Rang, as it was so lovingly renamed by
A lot of people.
A lot of people. It was a collaborative decision.
Should
A
we
lot
get
of
the
people
ring?
started calling it. Nah, takes too much.
We've
The
already
Rang.
shown them off. But yeah, you guys saw those both those robots last weekend and 2 weeks ago, and they did pretty good. Boomerang played first match after winning that first match. It was in first place, which I have a pretty funny photo of. By the end of the day, 4930 was ranked 14th. Boomerang 9990 was ranked 16th. 4930 got moved. I got moved up. I was at the field acting as the. I was at alliance selection. I got moved up into the 8th place alliance. I picked 990 and also. What was their name?
11 something.
Sparks. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you.
And-
We picked
11:23.
And can
11:23.
Can I add something to that? Is this was particularly big because Nate was the second person in 4930 history to pick a team at any competition.
And I picked ourselves.
Yes.
Very nice.
And also Sparks. So thank you,
We were-
Sparks, for playing with us.
I'll say, when I was in the audience for Alliance Selection, and I was just, everybody there was just saying it would be so funny if we got eighth seed and we picked ourselves, and it happened.
And then
Yeah.
we got 8th seed.
And we picked
And we
ourselves.
picked ourselves.
That was pretty
I
funny.
got the little armband and everything. I think those are new this year too. The
Yeah.
captain
Yeah.
armbands. Yeah.
Did you get to keep that?
I did get to keep it. I'm not sure I was allowed to, but I did keep it.
Ruckus.
Yeah. So yeah, that was we were the 8th place alliance. We placed 8th. We got double eliminated. Both robots had a couple of mechanical issues throughout the day. Boomerang had less. They had one swerve module that kept breaking. 4930 continued to have can issues.
As always.
That's normal.
The first match we played, well, I'm going to tell a little story, and then Nate, who was representing 990, not at the field, but he was just on the team, Nate can add some of his comments about what they did. But the first match that New Zealand played, we intooked a note in auto, and the color sensor didn't fire, so it kept intaking, and the note flew through the intake and landed right on a climber, and the note got stuck on the climber. And now, if you don't know this, you're only allowed to pick up one and only one note in crescendo, and we had now gotten a note stuck on our robot, and we couldn't get it off. James and Oscar were driving. They both had some experience driving FTC robots primarily, and they practiced for the FSC robot. But this was literally their first match ever driving an FSC robot at a real competition. And we're like, oh no, what do we do? So I tell Oscar, spin it around. Well, James would I tell James, spin it around. And the whole robot, we tried to spin the note off just using the force of it spinning. And then,
some centripetal force.
yes.
And we can't say the other
And
one.
we can't say the other force.
Can't say the other.
It's just
no, easier.
Oh,
okay, no, we can't say-
we can't say the force that we were trying
cannot
to
say the
use.
third law pair to centripetal force.
No, we
do
can't say that.
Uh-uh.
But we were trying to get the note off, and the entire robot flipped over, which surprisingly was the first time and last time all season that the robot flipped itself over. That had never happened before.
Well, we had a really low CG, so I didn't.
We had a really low
think it
CG
was
when the
ever
arm
gonna
was
happen.
down.
Yeah.
But I told Oscar, put the arm up and spin the robot around.
That's a great
Because you can't get the note off without the arm being up because it was blocking it. And then the whole robot flipped over. And then I tell Oscar, put the arm down more, or put the arm up more, and we flipped ourselves back over.
Yeah.
Which is always really fun to see. Robots who can flip themselves back over is really fun.
That was cool.
And then the last match of the day, we also got a note stuck on a climber, but it wasn't our fault. One of the autos, I think it was Sparks, but it doesn't really matter. The note flew into the speaker, hit the top of the speaker, bounced out of the speaker, and landed on our moving robot that was doing its auto. We were up at the amp with our arm up, and the note bounced off the speaker and landed on the climber of our robot while it was moving, and it took us out of the match because we couldn't get it off.
Gotta play some serious defense.
James just said high note.
That was yeah.
Gotta play some serious defense at that point. You know,
Yeah.
just sit
It
there,
was-
boom, 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 boom.
So
Play the
funny
lanes.
that we started and ended the day with a note getting stuck on a climber. One time it was our fault. One time it was just a really rare occurrence, and I don't think that match was recorded, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it.
It was really funny.
It was really funny.
Funny.
No.
Okay.
But that's my
yeah.
story from Ruckus. You guys have anything to say, those who were there?
Yeah. Anybody want to talk about how they, what job they did that they wouldn't usually do at FRC? Because
Yeah.
that's the whole point of Ruckus is that we
Yeah,
just kind of rotate. we
Try new
rotate.
people at
I
new
was
jobs.
actually part of a drive team for once.
Yay! All right, tell us about that.
Yeah, I was coaching for one match, and then I gave the rest to Ella because she wanted that. But yeah, so when I was coaching, it was Brady. It was mainly just Brady, since this was before we got two-person boomerang. And what we did was, you were there for this. All the notes was piled into one corner, and Brady was defensing, and no one could get those. Yeah.
No, that's such
Yeah.
a Brady
I wasn't
thing.
there for that. I don't remember.
Brady
that.
is a
How was there for that?
Yeah,
You
Brady
take
is
it.
a defensive
Yeah.
monster.
The thing
Yeah.
about Rang is that like the thing worked pretty well, but the one thing that was a little bit iffy other than the swerve module was the shooter. So for a couple of matches,
The
Brady
first two.
had to go crazy for defense, and we actually
Yeah.
won one or two of those matches.
That is how we got first place.
Yeah, just based off of defense. We got first place super early on in the competition.
And then we fell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brady is really, really good at defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a reason he's gonna be driver.
Yeah. So
FTC
yeah.
pin rules. Let's go.
Well, how did you enjoy Ruckus, Hamid?
I was technician for 9990, which is great because it means that I was in the exact same place as the actual drive team, but all I had to do was plug in a computer, and I'm really good.
And push the cat.
And push the cart.
Right.
And I'm really good at plugging in computers. And I've been to a shopping
Hey.
center before, so I know to push a cart too.
So you're not really good at pushing carts. You only just have experience, so you're not good at it.
No, true.
Yeah.
So,
Factual.
but I got to experience what it was like behind the glass.
Behind
Which,
the glass
sorry,
is fun.
sorry for those who are unaware. It's not actually glass. I'm sorry.
We have to stop proliferating
Yeah.
this falsehood. It's not glass.
It's not glass.
Yeah.
Plastic.
What is it?
It is like polycarbonate.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
polycarbonate.
polycarbonate.
Yeah.
But it was very cool. I got to see the game from a different perspective, and also I got jump scared by robots when they banged into the human player
That
station
happened.
quite a few times. I'm pretty sure you get used to that, or maybe you don't. I don't know.
No, yeah, you do.
You don't.
James,
You don't.
James, did you get used to that after your 3 days as technician?
The robots going bonk into
Bonk.
the.
I mean, to be honest, for technician, you mostly just go and hide away in the corner during matches. So I mean,
I didn't hide in the corner. I just watched.
Oh.
I think you missed out, James. I don't know.
I got used to it. Like I was.
You're not actually
You're in a
supposed to.
cameo?
You're not actually allowed to do that. You are supposed to. You're not actually
Also,
allowed to be standing behind the
yeah,
drive
I know.
team. You are allowed to
By
for
the way,
those Ruckus.
real quick,
But
I
at an
have
actual
to-
competition, you're not really
James and I
allowed
had
to
to
But it was
depose. It's 125.
do that. Okay.
We have obligations.
All right, they're gonna go do their thing.
They have
We're
to go
gonna-
to band or whatever. I have one more comment on the robots banging into the.
Oh.
I have one more comment on the
Good
robots
save.
banging into the polycup thing. The first time I was ever at the field was my freshman year at Ruckus, and I was human player doing the
Rapid React?
Rapid
No,
React. Thank you.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
Rapid React.
Yeah, it was Rapid
Thank
React
you.
because we had Camilla.
And there was this run where I don't remember the team. I don't remember what the robot looked like, but it just banged into the glass, and I physically jumped backwards because it scared the crap out of me.
So Nate,
I don't jump backwards anymore, but it still scares the crap out of me when they bang on.
So
bang into
Nate,
the
funny
glass.
story about that. That same year that we built Camilla, that like during the actual
Yeah.
FRC season, what we would do is we had to tell the opposing teams that we were gonna bang the glass because when we went to do our climb, we would go shoop, bang right into the poly car.
You've never seen a video of Camilla, a 2022 bot climbing. It would
Sweetums.
grab on Sweetums, not Camilla. Sweetums would grab on to the first bird because you had to do the monkey bird climb. Grab on and then basically jump into the other one, and it would swing into the glass, and every time it would scare the crap out of the opposing drive team. Me, Austin, none of us were actually on the
for
team.
that. We
Then
hear the
we were also in
stories.
8th grade, but apparently they would have to go up to the opposing drive team and be like, just so you know.
Step back, maybe.
And then some people would still get mad at us despite the warning.
Yeah.
And before we go into the final topic, we also held a demo event on Halloween where we shot crescendo notes at the middle schoolers and also then gave them candy.
We
just wanted to
didn't
mention
shoot it at
Small
them.
correction, not at them.
Above them.
Above them.
Shot
Above
it
them.
into the
Above
air,
them.
and
Above
then when
them.
it fell down, they would like catch them, and it was pretty cute to watch. It was
We also
pretty
gave them candy from Howard, which was awesome as well. He was driving around and then
Our
he had
fish is really generous.
he
We
had
learned that
two
this
he
year.
had 2 bins next to the robot and they just had candy in them instead of buttons, and so they just took candy out of them.
Who would have thought?
So
Howard's
if you're
very
ever
generous
trying to
fish.
get a fun outreach event, build a fish robot, put candy in the fish robot, and
Yeah.
then drive it around your school parking lot.
All
Final
right.
topic.
FRC is starting.
FSC is starting.
Yes.
FSC is coming.
FRC is
It's
here.
rapidly approaching.
Rapidly reacting.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We're gonna have to power up for this.
FSC season starts.
Is that Lucian Barlow?
Lucian Barlow.
Lucian Barlow, take a seat.
You want to be on the show?
We love guests, we do. Make the framing right
We're
again.
almost done.
We're,
So
all,
if you
we're
just-
all in one quarter. Make the framing correct again. Make it even.
There we go.
There we go.
This is Lucian Barlow.
yeah. Put the thing back on the mic.
We're almost done here, so I'm just gonna finish. I'll just finish up. You don't have to say anything.
Yeah.
If you don't want. Feel free to comment. FSC starts next Tuesday. It's our first meeting of the preseason. We're gonna do standard stuff like
We're gonna do some team building,
some
safety stuff.
orientation, safety, lab tour, stuff like that. Pinewood Derby. That's something
Nate,
we've
do you
never
want to
done
talk
before.
about our big team building exercise? Because you were really excited about it.
Yeah, so after we do get to know each other and lab tour and safety and sub-team presentations and all the shebang, we are going to do a Pinewood Derby, which is something we've never done before. It's not going to be Pinewood, it's going to be foam, which who knows how well that's going to work.
And the other miscellaneous items we find around the room, I assume.
yeah,
Yeah.
and other miscellaneous items we found around the room, but we're going to, that's our team building exercise.
That
this
sounds
year, which is
very
gonna be
fun.
Very fun.
Yes.
You know what's gonna be fun is if we get the whole programming sub team on one team, and then we have to figure out what the heck a drill does.
You can start expecting FSC build threads for the FSC Open Alliance coming in the coming weeks. I think for
Yeah.
preseason, I'm only going to do them once every 2 weeks until build season starts, where I'll do them weekly. Build season's happening, and then once programming season starts, Brady will
Oh,
take over.
that's already started.
Yeah.
But Brady.
Well, robot programming
oh,
season.
yeah, robot.
So then Brady will take over the build threads from there. Brady will also probably take over the FTC Alliance, FTC Open Alliance build thread soon once the robot's mechanically done. So if you're tired of seeing me on Chief Delphi, good. You won't.
Sounds good. Now second bullet point: game predictions.
Oh, I didn't know we were doing that.
Yeah,
love game
I decided to switch it up.
you should add it.
There was a teaser for the FRC game posted by First Official a couple days ago, and we all saw it and we reacted to it. Not live because we're not reaction YouTubers.
We could be.
You can also be gaming YouTubers as well.
Yeah, Electric Mayhem Gaming
Lucian,
is a thought.
what's your prediction?
Yeah, what's your prediction for the FRC game?
Water game.
Lucian Barlow, everybody.
Lucian Barlow.
Nate, you had a really interesting idea. We were talking about it at our bake sale yesterday as we were trying to
We did
raise
that- we
money
did that too.
for
I forgot to mention
refugee resettlement.
Yeah,
We're doing the Home Again project again.
Yeah.
We're calling it Home Again.
Again.
yeah. So you want to talk about your
We're gonna have to
prediction?
start raising it again to
Yeah.
the nth power.
So I saw the trailer, and I'm of the belief that though that little teaser at the end where they put the thing in the box and they lift the box, that could totally be a red herring, and I'm totally okay with that being a red herring. I still think that there will be some sort of I think this will be a pick and place game. I'm nearly convinced of that. I think there's a 100% chance of a pick and place game, and I think it's going to involve putting one thing into another thing and then moving the whole thing. And then I'm hoping for. It looked like they kind of teased like a rope climb kind of thing.
Like 2017.
I'm worried about that because I don't know how to do a rope climb. That seems really hard. But buddy climbing would be nice.
They're probably gonna make it like a ranking point or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they did it like 2017 where it's a buddy climb, that would be really fun. Because then I don't have to figure out how to do a rope climb. We don't have to figure out how to do a rope climb. We will just rope climb with someone else. I mean, I don't know how to do a rope climb. We should maybe start experimenting with that.
Yeah, that sounds like a good
I
idea.
I think that'll be a
Preseason
fun preseason project.
Studded compliant wheels into the rope.
Yeah. There's probably rules around that, but destroying the rope. But what's your prediction, Hamid?
We watched the video together. My predictions are the exact same thing. Sort of sample-sized game piece going into a much larger, like, crate-sized game piece, like one of those yellow crates that's behind
I think
the
it's
camera.
going to be bigger than that.
It might be.
I think it's going to be, the crates are going to be like robot sized and the game pieces are going to be like normal FSC game piece sized. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be much larger.
That's also possible. I just looked at the video. That's just what I got from
Yeah.
the scale of the video, but, I mean, who knows? They didn't make the video in CAD, so the scaling's probably off.
Yeah, I mean, also, they was pretty far away from the perspective of the camera, so maybe, who knows, maybe it's bigger. Thank you, Lucian. And I saw an interesting thing on Chief Delphi about how in the video you see red and yellow, little, I'm going to call them tubes for lack of a better word. You see red and yellow tubes. And on the FSC field, the FTC, there's red, yellow, and blue game pieces. So I think there's going to be Alliance-specific and Alliance-independent game pieces, just like FTC. Also in the video, they mentioned one like a robot getting stuck in the seaweed. I think there's going to be a part of the field where your robot can get stuck, kind of like 2016. There's going to be obstacles and stuff.
Yeah,
on the field, which would be awesome.
That's pretty cool.
So that actually kind of builds into my sort of idea of what I think the game is going to be. I think it's actually going to be a lot like the FTC game where your human player isn't feeding in like new game elements like
The modifying game elements.
they're modifying
Yeah.
game elements, and I think there's also going to be a lot of terrain with I think seaweed, like this would be a cool game to do with terrain because you can use like coral or seaweed or something like that.
If your prediction is right with the human player having to actually modify game pieces, I think what it might be is that the larger game pieces are with the human player, the robot has to go to the human player with the smaller game pieces. They have to assemble it into like a big one,
like into
slide
a
it back into the field,
then the robot-
and then the robot
that would be really cool.
goes.
That'd be cool.
That would
Like
be pretty.
and like there's like certain patterns of colors get you points and
That
stuff.
would be
kind of,
nice.
kind of
That would
like,
be cool.
Center stage.
No, it's not. Yeah, center stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mosaics on the. That's
I
cool.
think that would be cool.
That sounds cool.
And an interesting note about like seaweed and stuff as an obstacle is, I mean, I can imagine a word where that is an obstacle on the field, but also a swerve-friendly obstacle. So it's kind of a nice happy medium between people requesting field obstacles, but also not immediately killing swerve because of them. It could be a
And then
nice happy
so
medium
like
with that.
some of you out there might be thinking like, oh, seaweed's not big of an obstacle. If you've ever been in a lake, it can be. Seaweed.
Yeah,
can
he's
be-
actually like been scuba diving, so.
Seaweed can get in your way pretty badly.
And I mean, like if
not
it's
fun
just
to
like
deal with.
something wiggly on the field,
And it can tangle up and
and it
everything.
can like if you drive a robot through that, you could get stuck in that. I'm sure.
You could definitely.
Yeah.
Or even if it's just like a ladder of ropes on the ground.
Yeah.
And you have to like drive through that.
Like
You-
that's gonna get.
New challenge: getting can wires stuck in seaweed.
We will figure it out.
we will do that.
Or
We
maybe
don't
we
want to
won't.
figure it out, but we will.
Maybe we won't.
we will figure that
Who
out by
knows?
trial by fire.
Yeah.
Or FLR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's basically it for the outline. Any final thoughts?
Shout out centripetal force.
Yeah.
Centripetal.
Centripetal force.
Centripetal. Shout out centripetal force. Shout out Howard the fish. Shout out my grandfather. Shout out all my homies in Michigan.
All my homies from Michigan. FTC's going
Shout
well,
out
FRC's
shout out
gonna
to
be
the Song
fun.
7 Nation Army.
good.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
See ya.
Good night, everyone. and now we have to wait for it to actually catch up.